capturing the full picture of your show pigs. We specialize in providing top quality video services for breeders like you. Our skilled video team comes directly to your operation. You talk to pigs, we capture the video. Whether it's baby pigs, boars, gilts, or sows, we ensure that their unique features will shine through. With the power of our website and social media, your professionally recorded videos are streamed live, allowing potential customers from all over the country to view and appreciate the quality of your show pigs. We handle the technicalities so you can focus on what you do best, raising exceptional livestock. To schedule your next show pig shoot, call Rhonda at 765-431-7367. Welcome to the ultimate show on the track. Today we celebrate our premier partners, the driving force behind the livestock industry across the nation. Get ready to witness the power of partnership as our premier partners take to the asphalt. Green light and they're off. On the track we have our first partner, Layered Premium Blend Genetics from premiumblendgenetics.com. Next up, it's Bex Hybrids from bexhybrids.com. And here comes Showright from showright.com. Coming around, we have Brad Howe Ford from bhiford.com. Right behind them, it's Biozyme from biozymeinc.com. And here comes First Farmers Bank and Trust from ffbt.com. And rounding out the racers, it's Kennedy Ventures from kennedyventuresok.com. On the track and in the ring, it's all about collaboration and teamwork. Join us in honoring our premier partners because together they're the driving force of the livestock industry.
Miss Jolie Marshall from Hera FFA. Thank you, Jolie. We're ready for those Class 1 light commercial gilts, light colored commercial gilts, Class 1 in the SIP. today. We do have individuals that are checking for substances on animals other than water. So if you're going to use adhesives and powders and dyes and so on and so forth today, we're going to find it, hopefully, and you will be turned away and sent back to the pen. So leave that bottle full of water, leave the glue in the box.
Well, good morning, everybody. We're here on Light Crossbred and CPS Day here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo. Class 1, light crosses in the ring, 230 to 244. Got Seth Keplinger here in the big ring today. Schwecky's sifting for him there, a little swap from yesterday. Gilt in this class, like I say, 230, 244. There's 6 classes of these light crosses today, so we'll work through those and then go into the CPS breeds after that.
Well, first off, good morning, and it's good to be back. And we had an excellent set of dark crosses that Zach and I got to work through there yesterday. And if this class is any indication of the quality that will continue to come in the light crosses, look forward for this early morning adventure here. I think a good top trio, there's subtle differences between them. I'll stick to the script in terms of keeping them good built, good looking from the side, comfortable, still pliable and good looking. Young lady here directly in front of me has got our class winner. I think that gilt, just to be the combination gilt of 2 and 3 in terms of one that's tall shouldered, attractive, stays motivated, awesome range reach off both ends of her skeleton. I think a nice class winner. My major debate was between 2 and 3, and I thought both of them offered us quality. I think when I step off to the side of the 1 and 2, I think her comfort level, where her blade to necktie lies in that particular animal, I just naturally gravitate to her. I think she's a little more softer and pliable in her midsection when we talk about breeding gilt scenario. I didn't read that particular female to be quite as captivating in terms of just her lower lower cheek line and jaw description, but I still think she's a very good one in terms of just comfort level, squareness of build. The 1 and 3 guys are going to gravitate to, and no doubt the reasons why, because she comes with as much punch, as much spread, as much dimension up high as any in this particular class. I get on this female in terms of when you step off to the side of her, in terms of just blade set, in terms of how she wants to blend and combinate. I don't read to be quite as correct, but I still think a special individual that guys need to look at for sure. 4 and 5 are very, very similar. The one that comes in 4, I thought good build, good pattern, doesn't come with the extras. When we talk bone and foot size and ankle size, she gets a little shorter and steeper about her hip, but still a good animal to be there in 4. 5 and 6 are very, very similar. I like both gilts in terms of stout, durable kind of looks to them. They got to be a shot bigger in their kind. When you talk about a length to height ratio, I don't call either one of them quite as ideal. I thought the one that goes, the solid white one that goes ahead there, I thought her hock set was a shot more appropriate than the blue, almost solid blue gilt that goes there in 6. I love that thing in terms of just the front 1/3 of her skeleton. I need to put a little air under this one just to make her balance from that perspective. Need her to blend just a shot better in her ham loin. You study her out back there. We need to lengthen her in terms of her cannon bone. I thought the one that comes in 7, practical, basic, gets a little shorter and steeper about her hip there, wants to tuck and duck more than I term ideal. Young lady does an incredible job of getting that one presented. Young lady that comes next has got one that's heavy muscled, needs to be better in terms of her knee. She'll flatten in her forerib and midrib there, needs to tie better in her ham loin junction as well. The ones in 9 and 10, we can let them out together. Same song, different dance, probably too moderate in terms of their type and kind for this particular judge. Don't come with an elite, elusive look in terms of just their presence ahead of their blade, but I thought an excellent class. Let's put our hands together for those kiddos as they head on out.
Commercial gilts. First place, Madison Lee from Eufaula. Second, Cash and Todd from Cash. Third, Noah Ferris from Sentinel. Fourth, Laney Walker from Hartshorn. Fifth, Allie Trotter from Vian. Sixth, Merritt Major from Calumet. Seventh, Caitlin Bryant from Weatherford. Eighth, Carly White from Prague. Ninth, Addison Arnold from Tecumseh. And 10th, Annika Helms from Blanchard. Caitlin Bryant was a showmanship winner for Class 1. judged the dark crosses for us. Today we've switched gears. He's in the sift. Today we'll introduce you to the sift yesterday, Seth Keplinger. Seth's the owner-operator of Keplinger Farms, where his family runs a 100-plus show sow pig operation consisting of crossbreds, Durocs, Hamps, and Yorks. He also runs a small row crop farm with his father. Seth graduated, and now get this part, this is interesting for this ring. Seth graduated from Urbana University with a degree in middle childhood education, social studies, and mathematics. He is judged in nearly 30 different states at all levels, including counties, jackpots, state and national shows. Hobbies include going to sporting events, watching his kids play sports and livestock shows, construction work, getting a cup of coffee, and discussing current events with his mom, and doing life with wife Kinsey. Seth says his greatest accomplishments in life are his 3 kids, Eli, Clara, and Clinton. We certainly appreciate our judges. It's a big job when they come here. Put your hands together for our judges for the day.
I think another very, very good class and a very, very good top pair. The one I elected to lead the class off with is a young man's traditional blue-eyed gilt here. One that, as soon as she comes out, she demands your attention, especially from an aesthetic value in terms of bone, feature, and hair in her. And then you start breaking her down. She's probably got a little more of an elite look ahead of her blade in terms of skull shape and just the slope to her forehead comparative to the gilt that goes into. She's a little smoother in her transitions when we talk her ham-loin junction. Both of them could stand to be a little longer hip from an aesthetic value. We talk in the breeding pins. I think both of these particular females are going to be able to have hogs with much more ease in terms of that slope to their upper hip comparative to some of these others down the line here. I thought it was close. Like I said, I thought the one in second comes out, I thought, man, I don't want a single trader and say, hey, she's not as elite, she's not as unique in terms of just her skull and jawline comparatively. We start breaking her down. I think they're a wash in terms of body composition, stoutness, bone, and feature. She'll rise up in her 10th rib as well at times. But man, oh man, you talk about one stout-featured individual that's square and wide off of both ends of her skeleton that offers us tremendous amounts of quality. I thought the 1 and 3, there again, for those guys that want to talk about hair and bone, you need to look this one up because obviously that thing's going to generate those kind of attributes into your program. As I step off to the side of this particular gilt, she gets too cresty at the top of her pole there. She just reads with a little more age. She gets a little more lazy in terms of just her front pastern set, but the young man does a killer job of getting that one driven. Very nice individual as well. I creeped the one solid white one up here into 4, and I thought, man, this thing has got some wild pieces. Looks like a herd boar maker in terms of skull shape, forearm size. She's got a huge front foot, but she's propped up on her toes. She's got great turn to her loin edge there. You say, why put her in 4? It's when you step up over top of her there, she just gets a little more deflated in terms of just her forerib and midrib, but that's a very, very unique individual to be there in 4. You want to say the 1 and 5's a little more fault-free, probably a little free and easier in terms of movement comparative to the 1 and 4. I wouldn't disagree. It's when I step in behind her and analyze her, we got to intensify her rear leg bone. She'll plane out in her ham-loin junction. Just doesn't come with the extra stoutness. I think she's got long-term value as one, especially being solid white to make your program better. Very good individual as well. Young man that comes out here in 6. Another individual I like in terms of front 2/3. You open the gate, she's square about her just chest, knee to ground. She gets a little lazier in her top line. She gets a little shorter and steeper about her hip. And I think when I just step off to the side of her, I don't call her quite as desirable in terms from a length to height ratio, but I thought a very good individual as well. The 1 and 7, probably a little market gilt oriented. I do naturally prefer her maybe a shot better from a length to height ratio. I call this one more fragile as her views as she comes right at you. She's a little more upright in her shoulder. Don't blend quite as well in terms of her ham-loin junction. Young lady comes out next. 8 and 9 are very, very similar. They're stout-made kind of gilts that offer us density and stoutness. They play out when we analyze them from the side. They come with too many pieces, just how they want to tie and blend from a neck to blade and a ham-loin junction. But I thought very good individuals. Young lady's got one, I think, front 2/3. You can get real excited about. Big forearm, big front feet. Those are the things you like. You step in behind her, she just fades too hard in her upper hip. Young lady rounds out the class with one that's got extra hair, extra density. She's just got to blend and combinate as well in terms of just how she wants to tie in her ham-loin. My biggest thing on her is when she comes right at you in terms of just front knee set. Excellent class. Let's put our hands together for those kiddos as they head on out.
Two light commercial gilts. First place, Jace Clark from Morris. Second, Jaden King from Newcastle. Third, Cutter Ward from McIntosh County. Fourth, Lily Dreyer from Duncan. Fifth, Ava Gilcrease from Turner. Sixth, Cody Sanders from Hartshorn. Seventh, Lexi Wilson from Kiefer. Eighth, Emma Caitlin from Hinton. Ninth, Layla Lee from Beggs. And 10th, Mackenzie Binge from Tecumseh. Cutter Ward was the showmanship winner for Class 2. We have 3 new numbers for the Wild Bunch drawings. By the way, buy Wild Bunch button. If you get the chance, turn those dollars back into scholarships and premiums for premium sales support for all of our swine exhibitors. New numbers, 245. If you button number 245, you have just won a rake and a water bottle from the Wild Bunch. Number 594 is a pail of Colossal from Showright. And number 751 is a gift show bucket and whip from the Wild Bunch. All of those things you can come here to the announcer stand and claim if you're number 245, 594, or 751.
probably a class that, presents a few more challenges comparative to our first two classes. And when I went down there, I talked to Zach, and he said, hey, I got 25 of them coming up your way, up the hill. And he said, I don't know if there's just the one, but he said it's a deep class, and it is all the way through. I know we had 25 of them because I'd tell you the one in 10th and 11th and some of those that got exited there a little bit earlier, they were still high-quality animals. They came with some challenges, just like our top two do, but I still think a very, very high-quality class. I think the individual that I elected, and she worked her way up, young man there on the far side in the green shirt, he's got our class winner. When we've talked about from a length to height ratio in terms of just being intimidating as that particular gilt comes right at you, her front two-thirds to me I think are absolutely immaculate in terms of just feel, rolled to her midrib, just her chest view in terms of density of her forearm and front ankle. I call her front foot ideal and almost to perfection in terms of having that kind of set, that kind of bounce off of it, I think is real good. We can get critical on her out back in terms of hip length. She wants to go a little more east and west than I term ideal, but I'll tell you this, the longer the drive's gone, she's been able to withstand the drive, still stays a little more motivated than the gilt that goes in two. Originally, I thought, man, we got our class winner. She comes out, she's alert in terms of her look ahead of her blade. She's tall-shouldered, she's attractive, all the things that I desire in a show female. She gets a little easier in her top line. She's not quite as full in terms of her midrib, and the longer the drive goes, she begins to break down off of her rear too, comparative to our class winner, but still I think an elite one when you want to talk about height, the shoulder, skull, and jawline, and still got it rolls up with a big dense rear leg. A neat individual to be there in two. The 1 and 3 comes with a little bit stouter about her skull and jawline. As I get to analyzing this particular gilt, she gets a little flatter and drier in terms of her midrib there. I need to see more swoop to her midsection. I need to see that particular gilt blend better in terms of her ham-loin junction. She needs to set her shoulder blade back just a shot for this guy to go ahead and move her up any higher. I thought a real neat looking one from the side comes in 4, attractive about her skull and jawline, doesn't come with the extra density, doesn't come with a rolled up back, needs just more pliability in terms of her midrib section, but still a neat individual when we want to talk about silhouette and profile. The one that just kept working her way up, I call her practical functional. We probably all need more sows like this at home. She's appropriate in terms of her length aside. She's got awesome swoop to her midsection. Doesn't come with the density of rear leg as those ahead of her, but I call that a very, very practical, good-made kind of female to wind up in 5. The one that comes in 6, I like things about her. I love her athleticism. I love her ability to just plant and drive. It's that view. When I get off to the side of her, she gets easy in her top line. We got to pick her up in her pasterns there, and as she comes right at you, she'll want to close up from chest, knee to ground as well. The one that comes next is probably as big-chested and as wide-based as we're going to see in this class. She plays out when we talk about a length-to-height ratio. Gets shorter and rounder about her hip. She's not as appropriate in terms of just where her hock set line wants to lie on her, but still a neat individual. Young lady comes next with one in terms of a market gilt scenario. You can move her up the line. She comes with a big rolled up back, big ended kind of gilt. She flattens too hard and harsh in terms of just her forerib and midrib, but still gives you an elite look from the side. We can say this one comes with more forerib, more density, more swoop to her midsection, not as attractive, not as ladylike in terms of just her head and neck region, but still a good individual. Young lady that rolls out next, same song, different dance. She gets a little more upright in terms of her shoulder blade. You like her stoutness of rear leg. She uses it quite well out here. She too is too short and steep out of her hip. Young lady that rounds out the class has got one that comes with extra density, extra stoutness. We got to clean up the front 1/3 of that one's body cavity to go ahead and move up any higher. Good class. Let's put our hands together for those kiddos as they head on out.
winners. First place, Trip McGowan from Fanshawe 4-H. Second, Kaylee Kerr from Skytook. Third, Kendall Coates from Hinton. Fourth, Kenley Steely from Tahlequah. Fifth, Gracie Flint from Washington. Sixth, Kaylee Andrews from Colbert. Seventh, Lauren Crosswaite from Stillwater. Eighth, Kenna King from Rattan. Ninth, Ryder Wallace from Whitesboro. And 10th, Addison Allen from Maysville. Kaylee Kerr was the showmanship winner for Class 3.
Good morning, and welcome to another day here at the Oklahoma Youth Expo, and obviously for our light crossbred division. Try to get you caught up. Apologize there. We've not been able to talk the first few classes. Been little technical difficulties around here of getting everything processed and ready to go here today like we need to. So try to do the best we can to get you caught up. You just previously watched Class 3. That class winner was Trip McGowan. That gilt was a wide awake, next intention, and bred by Glenn Kraft. Second in that class went to Kaylee Kerr. Kaylee's gilt was a blue buckle, back on a blue intention gilt, and bred by Triple L. Kendall Coates was third in that class, and we actually are going to have to try to retrieve the pedigree information on that one. Fourth went to Kenley Steely. That gilt was a buckle-up crickets and bred by Hammock. And then rounding out your top five is Gracie Flint. Gracie's gilt is a Ricky Bobby, no intro, and bred by MC3 Ward. In the previous two classes before that, Class 1, back to our Class 1 winners, we will recognize Madison Lee. Madison's gilt is a driving force buckle up and bred by Mike Steele Show Pigs. Kaysen Todd was second in that class. Noah Ferris stood third. Laney Walker's gilt with a catnap smug bred by Randy Tipton. We will be sure and go through all those gilts as we come back, as we've done so with our in the darks yesterday. When we get it ready for our preliminary sale order and our lineup of our light crossbreds, we'll go back through there. We'll share pedigree information and all with you. So to do so, the other thing is we'll let you know that today we will show 6 classes of it's 6 classes of these light crosses, and then at the conclusion of the 6 classes, we will go through there and we will line up our top 10 lights, our automatic cell makers, and then we will pick alternates again to come back, and then for our overall selection to complete the Gilt show. So that'll all take place here today.
Let's say as we get next class, in my mind is let's make blues great again. And this particular class is an indication that obviously the light crosses are headed up because I think we're 6 deep in this particular class, and had maybe those 6 been in the class prior, they win the class. And just sometimes that's how the bracket falls. And I know I always tell the young people at home, when we line up and go to whether it's the exposition or the Ohio State Fair, sometimes you land in a class, become unfortunate, but I think we got an incredible top pair, got an incredible class. Our class winner comes out, solid white gilt, elite look ahead of her blade. She's appropriate in terms of muscularity and shape. Awesome in terms of just the swoop to her midsection. Her views are a shot more consistent than the gilt that goes in 2. The 1 and 2 comes out and comes with a look in terms of just height of shoulder, neatness of head, neck, big chested individual. I get more critical on her comparative to our class winner in terms of just how she wants to plant and drive and utilize her upper hip comparative to our class winner. That's where I become more critical on her, but I think still a special individual in her own right. Young fella comes out in 3, and it pains me to put one like this in 3 because she's so beautifully built from the side. She's tall-shouldered. She's attractive. Her skin and hair and presentation is absolutely on point, in my opinion. You start breaking her down and comparing to the top 2, doesn't come with the density of feature, front ankle and foot size, but I still think an awesome individual in her own right. Young lady comes with a solid white one. Rear 2/3 gets me up on this one in terms of back shape and spread. Swoop to her midsection's awesome. We got a razor up on her pasterns and just elevate her at the point of her shoulder there. She's a little more of a deadhead, but man, oh man, in terms of just bone and density and stoutness, appropriate kind of muscularity in her, I think is very good. The one that comes out next, I think awesome in terms of just meat animal shape on the top side. That thing is as carved up in terms of back shape as anything that we've seen the last 2 days. You say, why beat her? She comes in pieces and parts for me in terms of just her way she wants to blend in her ham loin, the way she wants to connect in terms of just her neckline there. Needs to be a shot better for this particular show judge to go any higher. Young fella that comes next, it's got a neat one from the side, resembles our 1 and 3 in terms of pattern design. She's got to have more chassis underneath. We just got to simply open her up in terms of her knee wall. She's got too much slope and turned her to her hip there, but still a neat individual. I thought a sound, comfortable one that just kind of wants to flatten in her forerib, get a little shorter and steeper about her hip there, just missing a few parts there for this particular show judge to move up any higher. I thought probably more of a market gilt oriented one that comes out here next. She's tall shouldered, she's attractive. Her blade will set a little more forward relative to her skeleton there. She becomes a little more hesitant and sluggish in terms of her approach as she leaves you directly there, but still a neat headed one. Neat in terms of just neat and tidy about her skull and jawline there. Young lady's got one much like the one there, a couple ahead there. Needs to just blend and combine a shot better in terms of just crest side of her neck, blade to the back side of her ear needs to be a shot better. She's 2, is missing a few parts there. For this particular show judge to move up any higher. Young lady that comes out next comes with an awesome view as she comes right at you. Get off to the side of her. She becomes a little more common theme in terms of just her look and presence. Doesn't come with the stoutness and density of rear leg as those ahead of her. We start winding these down. Young man's done an awesome, incredible job. When we talk skin and hair, she's snow white, beautiful from that aspect. She's too upright in her shoulder, not long enough and neat enough about her neck, too steep out of her hip. Young lady's got a stout, durable looking one that needs to come with more femininity to go up any higher. Good class. Let's give those kiddos a round of applause as they head out.
light commercial gilt exhibitor or someone associated with them at the announcer stand, please. 5th place from the most recent class that left the ring.
Well, we're going to see if this mic's going to work just right for this class, and I'm going to hold it where I need to hold it, but I think an incredible top pair of them, and I probably took a little longer because I know we only got one more class, and this can be an indicator of the outcome of the light crosses because I think we got an incredible top pair of them. A little different in type and kind, and I thought, man, let's stick to the script and, pick them how I like them. One that I think, probably comes with just a little more elite look ahead of her blade. That's a young lady there in the white shirt. She's our class winner. I think from a length to height ratio, absolutely incredible. She's a bigger hog that's got some height about her. She's neat about her just lower jaw and skull line there. And you get to breaking down that individual. She almost runs uphill in a way. She's got the right kind of turn and just fullness to her midrib there. Still remains motivated in terms of her hind leg. If you want to make an argument that the way the 1 and 2 utilizes her hind leg and say, hey, she's got more true step and reach, I wouldn't disagree with you. Young man's got her dressed to impress. She's immaculate in terms of skin and hair. Her rear 2/3 gets me pumped up. I call her a long-term generator indicator in terms of just her ability to plant and drive with comfort. You get to analyze in this particular gilt comparative to our class winner. Doesn't come as neat and tidy about just the lower 1/3 of her jawline. She gets just the shot more crestier at the top side of her neck. She wants to deviate just a shot more in her knee column. But man, oh man, is that thing elite in terms of just the rear 2/3 of her body cavity. Very, very good individual to go there in 2. If you want to paint the picture and head to the backdrop, this one may be the one that you want to step in behind because she has all the aesthetic value. She has the neat presence. It's when we set her into motion, I didn't think she was as complimentary as our top 2. She becomes a little more sluggish, becomes a little more robotic in terms of just how she wants to use her upper hip there. But I still think one in terms of muscularity, stoutness, bone, density, all those kind of things you can get pumped up about. Young lady brings another one that's quality in terms of look and design from the side. That one doesn't read with as much feature when we talk about front ankle and foot size. She'll concave in terms of her front knee there. She too doesn't want to use her upper hip and hind leg quite as ideal as those ahead of her, but still a neat individual. I thought the young man's blue gilt comes with some extremes. When we just talk about aesthetic value of bone and hair, all those kind of things you can get revved up about. I like her skull shape to her. She's a little more forward in her blade, doesn't want to tie quite as well on her ham-loin junction there. And then as you watch that gilt from the side, we got an elevator at the point of her shoulder just to give her more of a balance and elite look from the side to go ahead and move up. Young lady comes one that comes with a stout, burly one. It's just got to be better skeletally. When we talk from an angle standpoint, in terms of front knee, in terms of blade, she's shorter and rounder about her upper hip comparative to those ones ahead of her. Young man's got a stout, burly one, no doubt. And I thought, hey, I got to work this one up. She's right in terms of her length of body. She's stout about her rear leg. Doesn't come with as much of an elite presence when we just talk about cheek line and extension off of both ends of her skeleton. But man, oh man, does that one look like she can generate one when we talk about stoutness. Young man's got one that's good looking from the side. She's too frail and fragile about her front ankle. We need to pick her up in terms of her front foot, but a neat individual from the side. Young man's got a real high quality one in terms of look and presence. She's got a blend and combine to shop better in terms of hookups, in terms of blade to neck, in terms of ham-loin junction. Young lady comes out here next in 10. Same song, different dance. She's probably got a little more stoutness of feature, not as neat and tidy about her front end, but still a neat individual. Young lady rounds out the class with just a basic, functional, practical individual that just needs more width throughout. Good class. Let's put our hands together for those kiddos as they head on out.
Here from Class 4, first place, Emma Throckmorton from Marlowe. Second, Gabby Marsh from Antlers. Third, Garrison Todd from Porter. Fourth, Peyton Hannington from Central High. Fifth, Hadley Davis from Wagner. Sixth, Lauren Thurman from Concord. Seventh, Annie Schneider from Sealing. Eighth, Ethan Reimer from Dibble. Ninth, Hannah Butler from Lone Grove. And 10th, Penny Jo Isaacs from Jay. Showmanship winner there was Garrison Todd from Porter. And then for Class 5, first place, Paige Bishop from El Reno. Second, Wade Ritchie from Altus. Third, Leighton Dyer from Antlers. Fourth, Ava Keith from Lindsay. Fifth, Wyatt Gibson from Dover. Sixth, Madeline Parker from Copan. Seventh, Jacob Buckmaster from Porter. Eighth, Dax Johnson from Crowder. Ninth, Baxter Davis from Wagner. And 10th, Kylie Beller from Coeda. Leighton Dyer from Antlers was the showmanship winner for Class 5. We're bringing our final class of light commercial gilts, finishing sift and bringing them to the ring. After that, we will do division lineup, champion and reserve for the light commercial gilts, and then line up 20 total for preliminary sale lineup. After that, we'll do our Supreme commercial gilt drive and presentations, and then finish up the commercial show with bringing back the 41 through 60 placing animals from last night's dark show, and the 11th through 20th light commercial gilt selected a little later this morning for the final 20 slots in the commercial gilt lineup for the sale.
We are now showing the sixth and final class of your light crosses here for this morning in this division. Coming up the hill, these gilts 300 pounds to 340 pounds. We will give you some results here on a Class 5. That just completed class, certainly probably as deep a class maybe as what we've arguably have seen to this point. Your winner goes to Paige Bishop. Paige's gilt is a blow and smoke, quite frankly, and bred by Heron. Second in that class went to Wade Ritchie. Wade's gilt is a blow and smoke, next big thing, and bred by Ritchie Livestock. Third went to Leighton Dyer. Leighton's gilt was a Stand By Me, tricked out, and bred by Flatland. Fourth was Ava Keith with a White Hot on Nature Boy's mom from Winter Livestock. And fifth was Wyatt Gibson with a Money's On Icon and bred by Barn Burner Genetics. Again, we're now showing our last and final class of the light crosses. And then we will move right into our light crossbred division championship and preliminary sale lineup.
Together for these kids, last class of the day. They deserve it. It was good to, phone a friend and have Zach come in here and talk this last class, because somebody that, I got a great deal of respect for, just bouncing ideas off. We're in total agreement. Our class winner's the young man there in the light blue. You talk about one with density and stoutness. She's right in terms of just her length to height ratio. Gives you an elite view as she goes right away. We talk aesthetic value in terms of just leg hair flare. She comes with some stoutness to her noggin, awesome just slope to her forehead. A very, very nice kind of individual to go ahead and win this class. I like this Gilt. I thought she matched up with our class winner, probably a shot better than the one that goes in 3, just from a length to height ratio. Probably doesn't open up with as much chest cavity as the one that goes ahead and wins. Doesn't come with as much feature when we talk about front ankle size. She's a little softer on her front feet, but still, I don't think it makes her uncomfortable out here. Just doesn't come with the overall feature as our class winner does. Young man that comes out in 3, and Zach and I had a discussion on this one because she's got a neat look from the side. I didn't see that Gilt being quite as good in terms of her top line and just where her shoulder blade wants to set relative to her skeleton. You want to say, hey, she's stouter bone than the one that goes in 2. Maybe opens up with as much chest as the one in 2 there. I just didn't see that particular Gilt being quite as good in her top line. I didn't see quite as much roll to her mid-rib and fore-rib compared to the 1 and 2, but that's still an elite individual in terms of look, design from the side. This one is so close in terms of having that kind of stoutness, that kind of bone and forearm, that kind of skull shape, that kind of swoop to her midsection. You get real pumped up on. It's her views as she comes and goes. She's a little more narrow gauged at the surface. She's a little more methodical and robotic about her movement, but a very, very unique individual that guys are sure going to gravitate to on sale night. Young fella comes out with the 1 and 5. Probably just a little more basic in terms of just her overall appearance. Doesn't come with as much feature in terms of foot size and front ankle. A little more cresty at the top side of her neck, but I still think just a good, basic, functional, practical individual that can go on and make hogs better. Down the road there. Young man that comes out next, neat looking from the side, big chested kind of individual. Get more critical on her in terms of just her rear leg size, in terms of her foot path as she comes right at you. But man, young man, you've done an incredible job when we talk skin and hair and presentation. Compliments to that young fella on a job well done. Another one that comes out, it's got some extreme pieces when we talk about rear leg size. She's just too common in terms of just her head and neck region. She's too forward about her blade, gets too easy in her top line, but a very, very unique individual that guys should look up for sure. Young man comes with a solid white Gilt. There again, probably just a little more basic. Probably a little shorter and steeper about her hip, a little more robotic and methodical about her approaches. She leaves you right directly away. As much power as she's got on the rear 1/3 of her body, you need to see that more in the mid-third of her body in terms of just roll to her mid-rib, but a good individual in her own right. Young lady's got a real stout featured one. Probably needs to be a little more trendier and attractive about her look up front. She'll flatten in her mid-rib as well. Young lady's got a Clydesdale looking one that comes out next. That is a big elevated individual, that probably can, be able to be looked up because she can be bred to a multitude of boars just to moderate this one, make her balance better. She just simply needs more rib and body in that particular female to go ahead and move up any higher. Let's put our hands together. Last class of the day for these kiddos.
First place, Ethan France from Beaver. Second, Gracie Ray from Midway. Third, Noah Price from Washington. Fourth, Sydney Cundiff from Perkins. Fifth, Cody Hammock from Perkins. Sixth, Bryce Bagwell from Bing. Seventh, Boone Mosteller from Fort Gibson. Eighth, Jackson Harper from Medill. Ninth, Hannah Long from Dibble. And 10th, Kenley Mahon from Morrison. Gracie Ray from Midway was the showmanship winner in Class 6. We're going to be ready soon to pick our champion and reserve light commercial gilts. If you haven't brought your placing animals from 1 through 10 in Class 1 through 6 to the SIFT, we need you now in the SIFT area because we're going to line up 20 head of these light commercials before we move into our Supreme Commercial Gilt presentation. Champion light commercial gilt presentation. We'll begin with the winners from the classes. From Class 1, Madison Lee from Eufaula. Class 2 winner was Jace Clark from Morris. From Class 3, we have Trip McGowan from Fanshawe 4-H.
Ready for this division champion lineup. Our class winner out of Class 1. Our Class 1 was Madison Lee. Madison's gilt is a driving force, buckle up, and bred by Steel Show Pigs. Class 2 was J.C. Clark. J.C.'s gilt is a surrounded hero and bred by Clark. Class 3 was Trip McGowan with a wide awake, next intention, and bred by Glenn Kraft. Winning Class 4 was Emma Throckmorton. That gilt is a Wham, tricked out, and bred by Stephen Tollett. Class 5 is Paige Bishop. Paige's gilt is a blow and smoke, quite frankly, and bred by Heron Genetics. That would be Uncle Timmy himself. And winning the 6th and final class is Ethan Franz with a whacked out backdrop and bred by Halfin. quick rundown there from Class 6, those results, first 5. All right, we'll turn it over to Seth.
And we got a good crowd ringside. These kids deserve it. Let's put our hands together for the champion light cross drive. I've got the privilege to judge some big Gilt shows, and I've told people, this is what you expect when you come to the state of Oklahoma to see the quality, not only of the pigs, but the kids. It's been absolutely tremendous. It's been ran like a fine-oiled machine, and like I stated, appreciative of you guys putting your hands together for these kids, because I think more and more times when we ask you as show judges, and everybody wants to win, believe me, I want to win and is as competitive as anybody, but these kids need to be remembered, and they need those hands put together when we go ahead and name a champion. I think I'm pleased, and as we get them all back out here, I think in terms of their presence, their look, their body composition, I think it's all very, very similar. And I always say as a show judge, that's what you want. When you step into the ring, you want your class winners, you want your division winners to look alike, and I'm very, very pleased with the 6 that we have out here. It's been an absolute blast to be able to analyze them with Zach and I, and we'll get to, some further comments when we get into your guys' grand drive. We're in total agreement. When he came over, I said, hey, tell me which one you like the best. Because you can go 2 or 3 different ways, and I was hoping he was going to say the one he likes the best is the one I like the best. In terms of just design, presence, height of shoulder, everything we want in a 2025 show Gilt in this particular division. She looks like one that can generate, because she's got the generator indicators. She looks like she can be bred to a multitude of boars. She can hit a multitude of judges. That young lady in the white's your champion. Congratulations to her.
Congratulations there to Paige Bishop. I know her family is very, very excited right now. Congratulations to Grandma and Grandpa, especially breeding that pig, Tim and Stephanie Heron. That's a blowing smoke, quite frankly. That now lets Wade Ritchie into the ring. That pig there, too, is a blowing smoke. Next big thing, and bred by Ritchie Livestock. Again, if you stay with us there, we'll select 5 of these. Recognize the top 5 of these light crosses, and then we will go through and select as many as 20. Understand the top 10 of these will automatically be cell makers with our crosses, and then we will put those together.
To make it up the hill, and the number of pigs that come out of a class is unbelievable. So it is fun to be able to get up here, and kids, don't take this for granted being out here in this ring and doing what you guys love to do, because it does mean a lot, I think, to everybody in this barn, your family, and make sure you guys thank your parents. For us, or for me and Seth here, there was another one that comes out of that class there that just looks so good, the way she's built and design and the way she can get out and go and comfort and ease. There's a couple other ones that I think too that are very, very good in the way they look from the side, their presence, maybe just a little parts and piecier compared to a couple other ones. We're going to keep that pair together. Young man second in class will be your reserve.
A reserve champion there goes to Wade Ritchie. That's second place in that class. Rightfully so. They're great, good, very, very good class. Great pair right there. That drops in Leighton Dyer with a Stand By Me, Tricked Out, and bred by Flatland.
lady comes out, and I talked about that particular class just in terms of making light crosses great again. We talked that one in class just in terms of her overall stoutness. I said, hey, when you go to the backdrop, she can make show judges look silly because she has that kind of feature, that kind of stoutness. We need to see that particular female in this kind of atmosphere to just be a little looser hinge, just a little more in terms of comfort level out here. But man, oh man, I'm sure she's going to find her way up here shortly. There's another one out here that we think just kind of fits the mold of these light crosses in terms of being stout, durable, mobility and flexibility, absolutely on point. Maybe didn't just blend and combinate from a composition standpoint, but man, oh man, is she extra impressive as well. That young man out of the last class, he'll be your third overall.
So your third selection goes to Ethan Franz. Ethan's Gilt is a whacked out backdrop and bred by Halfin. That brings in Gracie Ray. Gracie's Gilt would be a wild time hero and bred by Gary Todd. Can put another check mark. That will be the 8th time I've now said wild time in the last 2 days in the Crossbred Show. Shout out to GT for that.
You get these out here again and start to study them, and like I said before, there's some that match up maybe just a little bit better in the terms of their look up front and just have those far-reaching pieces that a guy can take home and breed on and do different things with. I think there's one of them that does that and has just a little bit bigger back or top side of his skeleton. He's good and wide in his pin set. He's stout at the ground and can still get out and go with comfort and ease. The young man over here to my right will have your fourth.
Okay. Jace Clark would be our fourth selection there. That gilt would be a surrounded hero and bred by the Clark family. So this will be our fifth and final selection that we will recognize here with the two judges, and then they will actually go into a preliminary sale order mode from that standpoint. We'll encourage you to stick around and watch. Right now, I'll turn it over to Seth, and you can hear his selection at fifth.
Well, this is the last time you guys will have to hear us on the mic till we get to the grand drive. But like I stated there, the light crosses have been good. Dark crosses were obviously good as well. We can go several different ways and make a case for, honestly, I think each one of these still out here. There's another one in terms of just completeness, in terms of balance, in terms of having an elite look ahead of her blade. I think her value in the Southwest is endless, in my opinion. Young lady with the solid white gilt will be fifth out.
Okay, our fifth and final selection there we recognize goes to Emma Throckmorton. That gilt is a Wham tricked out and bred by Steve Tolle. So stay with us now. We're selecting 6 through 20. Understand that 10 will be automatics, and then we will go after that. Is what we will do in our in our show off at the conclusion of the Crossbred Champion selection. So feel free to continue to watch. We'll encourage you to tune in here just momentarily for the overall champion crossbred selection.
Brings Peyton Hannington to the ring. Hadley Davis from Wagner, you're on deck from Class 4. Number 8 comes from Class 6. That's Gracie Ray from Midway. We need Noah Price in the ring. Sydney Cundiff, you're on deck for Class 6. Ninth place comes from Class 6. That's Noah Price from Washington. It'll bring Sydney Cundiff to the ring. Cody Hammock, you're on deck for Class 6. Number 10 comes from Class 5. That's Leighton Dyer from Antlers. Ava Keith will come to the ring. Wyatt Gibson, you're on deck for Class 5. Those 10 will have guaranteed slots in the 9 of 100 stars sale. The top 5 will have to stay close for the Supreme Female show coming up. The next 10 will need to stay handy to come back and show against the tail end of the dark crosses from yesterday for the final 20 slots in the sale. Number 11 comes from Class 6. That's Sydney Cundiff from Perkins. It brings Cody Hammock to the ring. Bryce Bagwell, you're on deck for Class 6. Number 12 comes from Class 1. That's Madison Lee from Eufaula. We need Cashin Todd in the ring. Noah Ferris, you're on deck for Class 1. Number 13 comes from Class 5. That's Ava Keith from Lindsay. Brings Wyatt Gibson to the ring. Madeline Parker, you're on deck for Class 5. Fourteenth place comes from Class 2. That's Jaden King from Newcastle. It'll bring Cutter Ward to the ring. Lily Dreyer from Duncan, you're on deck for Class 2. Our 15th light cross comes from Class 3. That's Trip McGowan from Fanshawe. It brings Kaylee Kerr to the ring. Kendall Coacher on deck for Class 3. Number 16 comes from Class 3. That's Kaylee Kerr from Skytook. We need Kendall Coates in the ring. Kenley Steely from Tahlequah, you're on deck for Class 3. Our 17th light commercial gilt comes from Class 5. That's Wyatt Gibson from Dover. We need Madeline Parker in the ring. Jacob Buckmaster, you're on deck for Class 5. Number 18 comes from Class 6. That's Cody Hammock from Perkins. We need Bryce Bagwell in the ring. Boone Mosteller, you're on deck for Class 6. Number 19 comes from Class 6. That's Bryce Bagwell from Bing. That brings Boone Mosteller from Fort Gibson to the ring to show for our final selection in the light cross division. Our 20th and final light commercial gilt selected is from Class 4. That's Peyton Hannington from Central High. Congratulations to our winners. We will quickly set up to show for Supreme Commercial Gilt. So if you're in the top 5 of either the darks or the lights, you'll be who we need next. And then after that, we'll need the bottom 20, number 41 through 60 of the darks, and number 11 through 20 of the lights for the final commercial sale lineup. We have some new Wild Bunch numbers while we're in between projects here. New numbers for the Wild Bunch drawings. Number 751, that's good for a show bucket and whip, courtesy of the Wild Bunch. Number 1519, 1519 is a hog feeder and water bottle from the Wild Bunch. Number 673 is a show bucket and basket and whip from the Wild Bunch, 673. And number 279 are the scales from Essential Feeds. Guess what we did right there? We just threw in a brand new set of scales from sponsored by Essential Feeds. So if you are number 279, it is important that you come see us along with any of those other new numbers at the announcer stand to claim your Wild Bunch drawing prizes. How about 279? Students from Eastern Oklahoma State College in Wilburton are filtering into the ring. If you came through the SIFT or worked around the show ring at all, you saw them over the last 2 days help us sort these commercial gilts. these projects at this scale don't happen with a great deal of help, and Eastern has been important to us for several years now. Please put your hands together for the folks that have worked from Eastern in the back of the room. If I understand it right, they're going to be here for the Pure Show as well, so we know we've got a good set of hands here to get started with that as well. It looks like we've got the ring ready and the pins loaded with our top 5 darks and crosses to select our Supreme Commercial Female. Before we get started, we'd like to recognize our sponsors. Representing Devon Energy, Michael Baxter and Ryan Lindberg. There you go. That's the way. That's your cue. Representing Mormon Showtech, James Cyphers. And representing 66 Ventures, Chelsea Green and Evan Green. Certainly appreciate our sponsors. You guys know we don't do this without their help. They will be passing out all the swag to our winners here, including the Justin Whitefield Memorial Supreme Commercial Breeding Gilt Traveling Trophy that's named in honor of Justin Whitefield that literally created this whole storm. So we certainly appreciate them. Judges, will turn it over to you. Representing our Dark Cross division, Mayla Coleman from Medill.
We'll bring them out. You're ready for our champion crossbred drive here. Brock, our champion dark, is Mayla Coleman. That gilt is a quite frankly tricked out, bred by Ham. Then we have Paige Bishop bringing out her light cross. Just won the division this morning. That's a blowing smoke, quite frankly, and bred by Uncle Timmy Heron.
Yeah, congratulations, Uncle Timmy and company. Really exciting for them. Very, very nice pair that come out here that represent both divisions really well. This dark.
Swedke's going to talk.
Oh, here we go.
He's ready.
And this has been a great, great experience. I got to come down here last year and do the lights and then come back here this year and do the darks. And I'll be the first to admit, I mean, I've been nervous for a year to come out here again because I just know the quality of the animals that are here in this state of Oklahoma. And like Seth said the other day, I mean, this is the Super Bowl of the Gilt Show. I don't care anywhere in the U.S. I mean, this is the one that I think just the quality all the way through. I mean, yesterday we had classes 7, 8, 9 deep that were so good and consistent, and we'll go down to 9 and 10 for the sale. I mean, I think it's truly an honor to be out here. I want to thank the OYE staff for allowing me to come and do this. Getting to work with Seth here on the side has been so fun because I think me and him are very good at seeing hogs together, the way that we can bounce ideas off each other. It's good to have him come out here once in a while in some of those classes and just talk about them. And I respect that man a great, great deal for what he's done in this industry and this program. Kids, don't take this for granted. All you kids out here, I mean, being under the lights, I think it is truly, truly special. When I was younger, I didn't do much showing, and we raised breeding hogs and commercial livestock. I knew once we were into the breeding stuff that the show hogs was what I loved to do. I used to play a lot of baseball in my day when I was younger. Just being under the lights just kind of reminds you of that. Don't take any of this for granted because I think it is great. I will tell you that in this industry, I have met my very best friends that I talk to on a daily basis. There's nothing like it. I mean, in high school you have friends, and college you meet great friends and people. I still have those friends, but the ones that I talk to a lot come out of this industry. Kids, you're going to become friends with these people. You might find your spouse out here. I met my beautiful wife there in Denver. We were out there with cattle. It doesn't matter what species. The livestock industry is truly the greatest one out there. So just remember that as you guys are growing up. You know, talk to your friends and talk to your people. Be open with the guys that are out there, or you know, just always try to learn. And I'm still out here learning every single day, just trying to make livestock better and do things the right way, and just be true about what you're doing and keep it into your breeding program. I do really think, though, that this is a very elite pair of females that we have out here. It's been so fun to get out here and do this with Seth, like I mentioned again. I think there's one of them that's just truly special, the way that she's put together. She's so good and comfortable in her movement, in her ease, the way her structure is. She just looks like a timeless female. I'll go out and select your grand champion.
Well, great speech there from Zach Swecki, and he goes over and slaps our champion dark. That's Mela Coleman. That is the quite frankly tricked out from Ham Livestock.
Yeah, that's a really nice pair, but I think that belted one really struck them yesterday, and I'm sure they went to dinner last night and probably went to bed last night thinking about her, so it's really not surprising she won. And honestly, when she came out here today, maybe even looked better than yesterday.
I do. I think she looks a little bolder and broader even today, and very, very, very good female right there. And I think you're right. It's one of those deals. They seen that thing yesterday and fell in love, and rightfully so from every aspect. I think we're going to bring out a very good set of these things here.
Absolutely,
it's going to be interesting. I remember yesterday morning when this Division 1 won, and then yet remember what she looked like coming back in the drive. The anticipation level of seeing what she looks like now may be even greater.
That Gilt built a lot of steam yesterday. There was this reserve dark cross coming out right now.
And here she is. This is Catherine McLean. This Gilt is a tricked out 4 on a Judgment Day sow from Garrett Cole.
You know, I don't know what that Gilt weighs or where she's at, but I think she could keep on winning pig shows.
She could. I mean, the upside, everybody says, where do they fit? What do they do? And, when do you breed them? And all. I don't have any idea, but from a standpoint of her summer activity, it could be very strong as well. I think we're going to hear Seth.
Two young ladies can park these things for just a moment. I'm going to try not to get too long-winded. But first off, and want to thank the OYE and the committees and all the people in the back, obviously for putting on this show, but giving me the opportunity to judge alongside Zach. So, like I stated earlier, in the light crosses, it was a very, very, very well-ran show. There was no hiccups in the back. It was smooth ran. Everything has been top-notch, and that's what you expect when you come to the state of Oklahoma. So let's put our hands together for the people in the back and obviously the staff that puts on this show. The kids have been great. The hogs have been great as well. Obviously, you guys, some of you know me, and this is something I do as a livelihood and work with youth throughout the country, work with the youth there in Ohio, and to do a few housekeeping things first. I want to thank Kinsey for coming along with me, on this ride that we've had here the last few years. She's been my biggest supporter, whether it's, emotionally, sometimes physically. Want to thank the boys back at home. Obviously, Eli and my dad and my parents, kind of holding down the fort there at home, while we're gone right at the end of sales season. Evan, I hope you're enjoying Cancun. Anybody that knows me, last year I brought Evan along, Kobe there, and allowed him to take a break there because I don't think he missed a day from Christmas time. So, one thing I'll leave it with you kids is one word I've thought about, whether it's in life or whether it's showing livestock, and this can be kids or parents or breeders or what have you, is you have to be willing to adapt. I think the word adapt, it goes with many facets of life. Be able to adapt. Obviously, this industry, especially in the hog industry, you got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to change. And that's a thing. If you're able to do that, you will be able to maintain success throughout your life, whether it's livestock, whether it's getting a day job, whether it's going to college. Those are the things that you have to do, and you have to be able to change, and you have to be able to adapt. So it's been an absolute blast. It's been incredible. Before I name it, your reserve champion, want to thank Zach for the opportunity to allow me to come stand next to him. I think not only a great stockman, I think a great, individual as a human, as a father, as a husband. Like I said, it's been an absolute blast. Let's put our hands together one more time. We'll get you a reserve.
Well, great comments from them. I really appreciate just their insight and their passion that comes through. And Looks like the reserve dart will be the reserve overall.
It's Catherine McLean with her Tricked Out 4 Judgment Day, bred by Cole Genetics. So that now will bring in Hayden Green with the bronze dart for the selection of the overall bronze crossbred. So we'll select 5 of these. Is that correct? 3 to 5. 3 to 5. 5.
I think 5.
Yep, I do too. You'd think we would know that.
You are the veteran here, Todd. I'm just tagging along.
Kind of all runs together every now and then.
Right. The third dart cross is coming in now, right?
Third dart cross. This will be Hayden Green. Hayden's Gilt is a Money Moves, Buckle Up, and bred by Colson Show Pigs. Yes, this was the reserve.
Reserve D2.
Yeah, reserve D2.
Yep, third overall dart.
Fun to be out here and working with Seth and just total agreeance on the type of hogs we like. Before I forget, I need to thank my wife for coming down here and then being at home with our 2 little girls and always keeping the fort down at home when I'm on the road or busy for sales season. I think she added up one time throughout the year. I'm gone maybe 3 full months or 90 days at sales. So I greatly appreciate her being home and taking care of our kids and then running the farm at home, her cattle operation, and then always being willing to help with the pigs. And now it's really, really fun. The little girls love the livestock and like to come in the show barn and work on taming pigs and stuff. So that's been fun. I need to thank my dad again one more time for always allowing me to be able to do this and come out here. He's at home. Yesterday, I think he said he got to watch about 3 minutes of the show, just being at home working and keeping everything going. I mean, it's truly special for me to be able to do that with him. And then I just need to thank the rest of my family as well that are always so willing to help. My sister's always home and wants to be in the farrowing barn and help pull pigs. My brother's in college and he'll come home and do stuff, and my mom always willing to go get something if we need. So I just think it's truly special to do this as a family. I know you guys out there too have family members. Kids, make sure you thank them. Make sure that you always thank them for where you are today and where they've got you to be into this place. For me and Seth, there's another one out here that I think is just truly special. The way this one comes at you, she's so good looking up front and just looks like one can generate. Young man with the dark will be your third overall.
So our bronze selection will go to the dark. That is Hayden Green. Hayden's Gilt is a Money Moves, Buckle Up, and bred by Colson Show Pigs.
Really impressive Gilt. We haven't been on here much throughout the day that I know of, at least. Maybe you guys have, but I got to stand ringside and watch those blue ones.
Yep.
That was a really nice set of blue.
Very good set of blue ones. And I mean, we've talked about it. The blue division is going to continue to just thrive and get better. I've made the comment a couple of times. Blue pigs are so much better today because people are actually breeding and making them.
Absolutely.
We're not just seeing show pigs that come out blue. People are actually making a real effort to make these blue ones better. And when that happens, it's going to make our industry better. Coming in now will be Barry Horsley. Barry won the oldest division, or the heavy division yesterday of the dark crosses. Little guy on the stick there showing a wild time backdrop bred by Golden Show Pigs.
Pair of very young showmen here.
Very good young showmen here.
I know the light cross showman there, Paige. I believe this is her first time here, so
yep.
she's had a good start to her career.
She sold me a button yesterday.
Good for her.
And we'll obviously divvy out and get you a sale order. Like I said, from the bottom of my heart, do appreciate the opportunity to come in here and to participate and to be a part of your guys' Gilt show. Like I said yesterday, it's the Super Bowl, it's the Masters, it's the World Series of Gilt showing. As we get this pair out here, similar in terms of the length, the height ratio, one that we thought yesterday was extra special special in terms of just having that kind of density, having some added size and elevation, still keeping her hind leg motivated. Awesome in terms of just the approach to her front foot. Young man, you're 4th out. Congratulations.
Yes, we can stay with the darks. That's Barry Horsley. Very, very good gilt there. Wild Time backdrop bred by Golden. That now will bring in our 5th one out of that division. This will be Holden Winters. Holden's gilt is a Glory Days, quite frankly, and bred by Team Sloan. We always take a quick shout out to our sponsors. Good to see Evan and Chelsea over there, along with the friends there at Devon. But Evan and Chelsea running 66 sires, stepped up, sponsoring the Gilt Show this year.
That is one thing that OYE has and does a better job of than many shows that you go to. Their support and the sponsorship and things like that, and their ability to recognize those people is very impressive from my perspective.
Holden's Gilt's he's got that thing primed in today.
She's fresh and ready.
Yeah. I think Zachary is going to talk for the very last time.
Last time, one more time, put your hands together for the staff and everybody out here that made this just one of the smoothest ran shows out here. You get these two out here, and I think there's one of them for her division is just so good in the way that she's put together. She's good in her chest, the way she comes at you. She's very, very sound structure-wise, and I think you can do a lot of things with her. Young lady with the blue, you'll be 5th.
Congrats to Paige Bishop with her Glow and Smoke, quite frankly, and bred by Heron. Is that Heron Genetics? Is that
That's Heron Farms.
Heron
actually.
Farms.
Yep,
Yes, that's
yep.
right. Heron
A little
Farms.
confusion there.
So Heron Farms, Uncle Timmy and Steph, congratulations there. So those.
I think the whole family is really included in that. We got Amanda and Luke. I think they've all got sows out there. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Amanda, she's playing the sideline mom there today. I mean, boy, it's just wound up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. A mom can get wound up on the sideline.
Well, she had her coffee too. She had a little extra.
So we will now, so people will know what's going on, we will move into our selection process of the remaining crosses. We will bring in those gilts here in just a moment. Understand the first 40 darks that we lined up last night are automatics. The first 10 that we lined up today in the lights. So we will go through 11 and 41 is where we will start to select 15 more crossbred gilts to get to our 65.
And that is all for the auction next week?
For the auction on Tuesday night. Yep, we will sell those gilts on Tuesday night. You can stay tuned there. We will be videoing all those gilts there on we will do that on a Saturday. We'll have those videos ready. It'll be one-on-one. You can play all those. You can see them.
On Kennedy Ventures, right?
You can see it all on Kennedy Ventures. So, any closing comments, Brock?
It's been an awesome Gilt show. I'm ready to see him again Saturday on the green carpet over there for the preview. That'll be fun.
You're welcome to come and sit and through. You can join us. You'll listen, watch the Gilts, whatever you want to. We'll do that Saturday at 4:00.
We've got 20 sale slots left available for the commercial gilts, either light or dark. And so what we've got ready in the box are the number 41 through number 60 placing dark commercials, and the number 11 through 20 placing dark commercials, and we'll line them out for the final 20 commercial gilt sale spots in the Night of 100 Stars sale. From the dark division, we'll start with Dax Johnson from Crowder. And from the lights, we'll have Sidney Cundiff from Perkins. Our first of the final 20 comes from the dark division. That's Dax Johnson. That'll bring Haley McGuire to the ring. Caitlin Waggle, you're on deck for the darks. Second out is Haley McGuire from Ringling. We need Caitlin Waggle in the ring. Riley Howell, you're on deck for the dark division. Third out comes from the light cross division. That's Sidney Cundiff from Perkins. We need Madison Lee from Eufaula in the ring. Ava Keith, you're on deck for the lights. Number 4 is Caitlin Waggle from Fort Gibson. We need Riley Howell in the ring. Tegan Voigt, you're on deck for the dark division. Number 5 is Riley Howell from Shakota. We need Tegan Voigt in the ring. Gentry Terrell, you're on deck for the dark division. Sixth out goes to the light division. That's Madison Lee from Eufaula. We need Ava Keith in the ring. Jaden King, you're on deck for the light crosses. Number 7 is Tegan Voigt from Glencoe. That brings Gentry Terrell to the ring. Kylan Blue, you're on deck in the dark division. Number 8 is Gentry Terrell from Prague. That brings Kylan Blue from Muskogee to the ring. Haley Barron, you're on deck for the dark division. Number 9 is Kylan Blue from Muskogee. It brings Haley Beeran from Kingfisher to the ring. Oakley Cooper, you're on deck for the dark division. Number 10 is Ava Keith from Lindsay. We need Jaden King in the ring. Trip McGowan, you're on deck for the light cross division. Number 11 is Haley Beeran from Kingfisher. That'll bring Oakley Cooper to the ring. Natalie Hale, you're on deck for the dark division. Oakley Cooper is our 12th selection. We need Natalie Hale in the ring. Gabby Marsh, you're now on deck for the dark division. Number 13 comes from the dark division. That's Natalie Hale. We need Gabby Marsh in the ring. Hannah Long, you're on deck for the dark cross division. Number 14 comes from the dark division. That's Gabby Marsh. We need Hannah Long in the ring. Trenton Haney, you're on deck in the dark cross division. Number 15 belongs to Hannah Long from Dibble. That'll bring Trenton Haney from Arnett to the ring. Davis Morris, you're on deck in the dark division. Number 16 is Jaden King from Newcastle. That'll bring Trip McGowan to the ring. Kaylee Kerr, you're on deck for the light division. Number 17 is Trenton Haney from Arnett. That brings Davis Morris to the ring. Briley Goldsboro, you're on deck for the dark division. Number 18 belongs to Davis Morris from Yukon. Briley Goldsboro, we need you in the ring. Kylan Barton, you're on deck for the dark division. Number 19 comes from the light division. That's Trip McGowan from Fanshawe. We need Kaylee Kerr from Skytook in the ring. Our 20th and final selection for the commercial gilt sale lineup is Briley Girlsboro from Worcester. Congratulations to our sale makers. This will conclude our commercial gilt show. Thank you to our judges and everybody that helped. The rule book says we've got a 30-minute break before we start the pure gilt show. We'll probably try to go just about as soon as we can get ready. So ready for those Chester gilts in about 30 minutes.